question for you now, though.
I'm not ready.
No.
Okay.
Alright. Sports or shonen?
Okay. Shonen all the way.
Shonen all the way? Ooh.
Yeah. Because you can get certain sports anime that are shonen. Like Kuroko no Basket, that's a shonen, I'm pretty sure it is.
A shonen sport.
IQ, that's a shonen. Like, it is a shonen.
Haikyuu is in Shonen Jump.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like, it's a shonen. So, like, automatically all the best sports anime are shonen. And, like, at the same time, like, you're never gonna get out of this. Like, Yuri on Ice, that's not a shonen. But, like, it's a sports anime.
No. I think Slam Dunk's still considered just sports anime. I think I'm like there on both. I think they're both equally as good. And then because like I don't know, like there's so much hype that you can like not from other people. See, this is how I say like when with shonen it gets everyone hyped. And I'm not saying sports anime doesn't get everyone hyped, but when you're watching it, like if I'm hyped for a sports anime, immediately after watching it, I want to go outside and play that sport. Whereas with a shonen anime, I don't immediately finish Attack on Titan. I was like, yeah, I want to go kill some tires.
To be honest, I did feel like that. Wanted to go out and just go. Yeah. This is gonna be great. Yeah.
I think, like, I just finished Kuroko no Basket season 1 and oh my god, it is like, I rated it as a 10. I don't know whether people will be like, why have you done that? That is shit. But I thought it was a fucking masterpiece. Like the matches were so hype. And the fucking, it's like, did you ever hear, like, you know when the first season of Demon Slayer came out and everyone was saying, wait till this specific episode, wait till like, I think it was episode 21. It's like, you can have blue balls for the first 20 episodes and then episode 21, shit's gonna go crazy. I feel like that was the same thing with Kuroko, but not like people said that. I just feels like the moment where Kize goes like Super Saiyan or what was it called, into the zone against Armin, yeah, and he like finally copies him, but the music and the setup and everything. Oh my god, I was in the library and I was like, fuck yeah! In the library.
Any characters just like that crazy and like overpowered and just go like moving everywhere, like super cool.
I was like, fuck! I was like, that was so sick.
And the moment, did you like? Well, obviously, I don't want to spoil anything, but like the moment like they get that kind of overpowered kind of move, it's just insane, absolutely insane how they're both doing it, and it's like, whoa, my eyes are just going, whoa.
To know that's like in the show now has like makes me so excited to go into season 2 to like kind of like see that again. I know we won't see it for a while, but like I'm like, it makes me go, oh shit. But like even like take that out, it's still like fucking epic. Like the matches are so good, and the show's so well paced, and like the journey the characters go on is so like interesting for me. I don't know whether I'm saying this just because I love basketball, but I think like it's fucking epic, and like
I mean, I agree with you, and like on certain aspects and stuff like that. Like it just looks visually appealing.
The animation is amazing.
I don't know. Maybe it's because like when I watched Kuroko no Basket, I was in that peak anime time where I've like seen loads before that, and like I was looking for like even better anime all the time. So like when I watched it, it just didn't feel right. And even now, like I'm a basketball coach, so I know a lot about basketball. Like even now, it's very unrealistic.
Oh yeah. I think that's how you've got to look at it,
yeah,
though.
Like, I couldn't think of myself just going around like with sperm eyes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just couldn't do that.
No.
It's physically impossible. Like, sure, maybe LeBron James, like, you know, like
Steph Curry,
Shaq O'Neal or something could like do it, but like
I don't know, even that
maybe
I doubt.
it's like a stretch as well. But like
Yeah,
that's kind of the part that makes it interesting as well at the same time, because it's like this is a fantasy, you know, it's fantasy.
Yeah, because that's why it is
It's
kind of
like-
like Shonen in that way.
It
where
kind of
it's
inspires you because it's like
Yeah.
you know you're never gonna get reach that level, but you're like I want to get good enough so I
Yeah.
look cool at least.
It's like that thing like even Kuroko's ability.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think anyone would ever be able to like have their presence like that like small so that people would like not even be able to realise that they're there. Like with all the basketball I've played, like you can't like you are constantly looking at like the teams and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe in Japan. That's all I'm gonna say to anything now. Maybe in Japan. Maybe it's different in Japan. Maybe there is some like guy with blue hair going around that can just like pass the ball and seem invisible and stuff. Like yeah, I think that's cool. Maybe like other sports anime. Blue Lock. What are your thoughts on Blue Lock?
I have not seen the anime, but I've
You've
been
read
reading the
it,
manga.
yeah.
I've been keeping up with the manga. I think, well, the anime looks really, really bad.
You think it's
the art style just looks terrible.
I personally I like the animation.
I mean,
Apart from the like the long necked guy.
the art style is like it's mid basically. It's not as good as the manga art style,
Yeah.
but that's to be expected. The manga, absolutely amazing in my opinion. I love how they like kind of turned it to a shonen anime.
Yeah.
But also a sports anime at the same time. So it
Yeah.
gives me Haikyuu vibes, and
Yeah.
Haikyuu was like volleyball anime, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
This is a football anime, and the fact that like they've made Blue Lock similar to that in a way,
yeah.
it really hypes me up because
Yeah.
I'm like trying to follow Isagi Yoichi's journey,
Yeah.
and it just like makes me think of Hinata from like basketball.
Yeah.
He's got his journey as well. That's like something. You kind of put yourself in the main protagonist's
Yeah.
shoes,
Yeah.
and you're just thinking, this makes me like want to at least look cool.
Yeah.
So at the same time, obviously I don't believe I'll ever get to that level. But it's kind of like inspired me to pursue that kind of level.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's out of my reach, but at the same time, I'm always gonna have that kind of realistic expectation of myself where I'm gonna be like, I want to do this, I'm gonna try at least, and I can try and look cool in the process, technique wise, and maybe one day, who knows, like, if it's ever possible to reach that height, but
Yeah.
you can always try.
I think like the reason why I think like I like Blue Lock, so I'm not the biggest football fan. That doesn't mean I wouldn't have watched it. I think the thing that I like about it is that it's different from like normal like sports, where instead of it's like one guy on a team going through different tournaments, like going from like regional to national to international competition. It's like different, where it's like you've got like I think it's 100, isn't it? 100 different strikers. You put them in this thing, and then it's like skill gap between them, and it's always trying like. There's only going to be one left at the end, and then it's that guy. Then you get the tournament stuff, and I think that's a really like interesting and different way of telling like the story. You still have obviously like the matches between the different teams, but because it's like it's told in a different way and the setting's completely different, it feels it's a lot more hype. That's like because it's different instead of just like normal like
I agree.
going from match to match.
Blue actually does really well in that. In fact, like they don't focus on matches too much. They focus on individual ability, and which is like why I think it's really good.
And like training out.
They've hooked us in that kind of like period really well. And then like they've got a lot of content with chapter wise. Like the anime. I have not seen the anime, but like the entire season could just be on like working their abilities.
That's what it's kind of on.
And then they could make a lot more content based on like the matches afterwards. So they've got like potentially 5 seasons, 6, 7
definitely.
like seasons in making. And one more thing, you know Blue Lock? Well, there's another anime as well, another football anime.
Yeah.
It's called, I don't know. Let me get it up.
I think the thing is with sports animes that can keep make it desaturated after a while. or keep it saturated, whatever. I can't remember what the exact term is, but like when there's like too many matches and not enough like time spent on like training and so on.
There it is. Like,
I've heard of it.
yeah.
I haven't seen it though.
I don't know if you guys can see that
We'll
as well.
put it up on the screen.
Yep. But I don't have to say it either. Ashi? Something like that.
Aoshi.
Yep.
Aoshi,
Yep. It's I've read the manga for it, and I feel like similar to Blue Lock but more realistic.
Yeah.
In terms of like it's this character who's like in a like poor family, which automatically hits a lot of boxes for some people because they can relate to it.
Yeah.
And he tries to do football so he can make money for his family, which is even more realistic. And he's obviously not the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And he's just like growing and growing and slowly getting there. And I feel like that compared to, like there's no supernatural powers in the Blue Lock where like you've got abilities and like stuff where they can just see
like eagle
everything.
eye.
Yeah, exactly. It's just he's got his like skills, his techniques, and he's just trying to improve himself all the time, which is like absolutely amazing. In fact, if you thought Blue Lock was great, I think you might like that one.
Yeah.
So I'll be put on.
I think sports animes or manga is the best place, like is the best way to have like a more elongated training arc. Because I think with like your traditional like shonen stuff, I think after a while, like a long training arc and that gets very boring because it's very repetitive. Whereas you can tell a training arc in a sports anime in so many different ways. Like where like you can show progression through matches whilst training, you can show like the emotional side of stuff, which equally you can do in shonen, but I think it's a lot harder to pull it off there, whereas in sports it's like that's what I'm here to see. Like I think at the end of the day, like that's what you're here to see. Like I'm here to see these characters get better and so on. Whereas like with some like shonen and that, I think depending on the story it like changes like on what their goals are. Whereas with like sports, like all the characters have the same goal, is to like be the best in whatever sport that like they do. Whereas in shonen you got different stuff. Like obviously you have stuff like One Piece where like you're the pirate king. That's what Luffy wants to be. And then you've got
Naruto, so Hokage, what else?
Attack on Titan, like Eren just wants to have like doesn't want his friends to die and stuff. You've got Chainsaw Man where Denji doesn't really have a main goal. It's more like wants relationships and people, friends and stuff like that.
I mean, he just wants the basics, really.
Yeah.
Which people take for
It's a
granted.
normal human life.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Jujutsu Kaisen where in that Itadori's main struggle is like being able to save as many people as he can.
There's Black Clover as well, where
To be like
that still wants to be the Wizard King.
Yeah. Like there's like a lot more difference in storytelling shown in whereas in sports you want to see them, whether it's like I or in the team, you want them to be the best. And you want like the end goal's the same, to like win in like whatever tournament it is. But like how they tell those stories and how they tell the people like getting better, advancing their skills, they're like the different the other teams. Like that's where it like splits apart, and that's where like sports anime can get really, really interesting and hype. And I definitely need to see more and read more. Yeah.